Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let's see. Are we ready? Right, we are live. Hello, guys. Are you guys excited about today's class? I hope you guys can hear me clearly. Let me turn this one off. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to be sure everything is good. And it's not audible. Oh, maybe I need to talk louder. But what? How about it now? Let me see. Let's be sure. Can you guys hear me? It's too low. Too low. Audio is very low. Really? I don't. Let me see. Just a moment, guys. But yeah, it's better. Okay. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. All right. So, welcome to today's class. The audio is better now. All right. Awesome. Fantastic. So we're going to start right away, and we're going to make it as simple as possible. So I've collected a couple of images from somebody sent an image to me. Then the other persons also sent some images. I also downloaded some from. I also downloaded some from pixels.com. But I want to be sure, is everything going on well? The sound good, and you guys can see, right? So I'm going to change my screen so you be sure that everything is working fine. So we're going to use pretty much any AI tool can work. You know, there's Adobe Firefly, there's Google Gemini, and there's ChatGPT. Anyone can fly. And then we have Pinterest, where you can get a lot of inspirations from. I believe a lot of us use this already. So there are a lot of inspirations and ideas you can get from Pinterest, you know, when you're creating your own photo shoots, your own photos. All right. So if you're ready, just say let's go, and then we'll go. If you're ready, just say let's go, and then we'll go. All right, just say let's go. Let me see that in the comment section. Okay. Good. Let's go. All right. Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Now, so we're going to break this class into three parts. Okay. The first part is just to tell you about backgrounds. Okay. So now, many times you take a picture and you'll be wondering, oh, can I try another background? So most times when it comes to this creative aspect of photo shoot, let me show you some things in Photoshop. When it comes to this particular aspect of photography, you know, everybody has their own individual difference. So it is not compulsory that you must do exactly what somebody else has done. It's not compulsory that these are pictures I downloaded from Pixels, by the way. So you can take a picture like this and the client might be satisfied with it, but you might want to push your retouching or editing creativity to another level. And then you think of, okay, what can I do to make this picture better? And you start thinking of idea of maybe probably changing the background, you know, giving it a different ambience, or maybe adding a snow effect, or maybe, you know, maybe you don't have the equipment to to actually do that kind of photo shoot. during your editing process, you can actually transform this picture to be completely something else. Uh, okay, let me show you. These are images I just gathered, so that we're going to, work on a couple of them and show you what is possible. Like, for example, look at this box. You might change your mind that, oh, I don't want this box, I want a proper seat. And maybe when you were doing the photo shoot, you did not have, a sofa in your office, and you didn't have one available at that moment. You can change this to a proper chair. All right, anything is possible. That is why we have AI has come to make your creativity limitless. So people are scared that AI is here to take your job. No, AI is here to take your creativity to another level, that you can actually push beyond just, because normally the old way, if you were going to change a background, make a creative background, it will take you a lot of time. You have to take a lot of time to design or download different backgrounds from different places and combine them together. But now, pretty much anything you want to do with AI, you can make it possible. All right, so that's what we are going to start from, showing you what is possible with AI. All right, so now let's go back to Google Chrome and see. So now, first thing is you need to be inspired. If you do not have inspiration, trust me, you cannot use AI. If you do not have inspiration, you cannot use AI. You can't just change background, because you'll be wondering, okay, what are you going to change the background to? You need an inspiration, you need an idea. That's why you need to take out your time. So if, for example, you are doing a maternity shoot, you take out your time and look for maternity shoots, photo shoot ideas, and then you see different ones. All these are what will give you an idea of what you are going to create. All right, all these are what is going to give you an idea of what you are going to create. So don't limit yourself by trying to think out of the box by yourself. No. So what you are supposed to do as a creative is that, let's say you come to this, let's say you like this arc, this flower, you like the background, then you come to this other image, you like the floor, this reflection. You can take ideas from different images and combine them together. What I don't recommend is you looking at somebody's image like this and just taking everything. All you just need to do is just go and change your subject's face. That's what I see a lot of people do. They will download this picture, take it to AI, and then tell AI to change the face to the face of their client. For me, that is not creativity, because all you just did was to swap somebody's face. That's not creativity. You didn't design the idea. You need to bring in your own input. All right, so changing this client's face to your, and then let's assume the photographer that shot this eventually sees your photograph and sees that you used exactly what he shot and you just changed the model's face. How is it going to look on your reputation, when he can prove with behind the scenes, prove with the editing process to show you that yes, he actually did that? How is it going to look on your reputation? So a lot of people are setting themselves up for something that can happen to them, that tomorrow they will realize that because they've been stealing people's work, stealing people's creative idea completely without adding their own initiative, they will be exposed and disgraced. And you don't want to be in that situation. I don't know if my cursor is big enough, so let me quickly just increase the size of my cursor so that it will be, let me quickly do that pointer so that everybody can see it clearly. All right, so I've increased the pointer size now. Okay, so now you need to improve on it. You don't just go ahead and, people are saying the audio is low. Please, I don't know, is this still low? Because I'm actually talking very loud and my mouth is close to the microphone. I don't know. Some people are saying the audio is low. Is it very low? Okay, so now please don't do that, but you can get ideas from here. So one of the things you can do is that, for example, you can get the idea of this particular flower and take this idea. So maybe your subject is standing and you want this kind of idea with this kind of floor. All right, so if you do not know how to describe this, you can download the photograph and put it on any of the AI tool. All right, so which, for example, this is ChatGPT. You can use it on ChatGPT. All you just need to do is bring the photograph into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to describe this particular flower. I should use descriptive word to explain, to describe this particular flower if you were to generate it with an AI tool. All right, so that's what you will do. So you will just go, you can use the audio, you can type it. All right, so if you can use the audio, that's fine, it's easier. But if you want to type, but make sure that if you're using the audio, you need to pronounce words very well so that the AI can pick it. If not, it will misspell some of your words. So you need to make sure you are pronouncing words, in a way that the AI can understand, else you just type it. Okay, so ChatGPT, give me a description of how I can actually generate this flower that is around, this ring of flower that's around the subject. So I want a prompt I can use to generate that. So once you do that, you can click on enter, and then ChatGPT can give you the words to generate just the flower. Now, when you have this prompt, all right, you cannot choose, do you want to generate the background here, or do you want to generate the background in any of the AI tools? You can go to Gemini, you can go to Adobe Firefly, anywhere you want to generate. But now you have a prompt that is giving you the flower. Okay, so now I want to generate a proper background I can use for, let me see, what image am I going to use it for. Let's see, if I was to use it for let's go. I don't think I have the full body shot. Let me see if I have the full body shot. Pregnancy shoot. Oh, I don't. Oh, okay. Now let's see, let's see if are you guys following? Is it making sense? Okay. All right, so now let's continue. I'm just trying to make sure, but if the network is bad, please just let me know. If the network is not good enough. Let me see, let me check for my other end. I'm very sorry, I just need to be sure everything is going on well. Just a moment. Okay. I can just switch my internet. It's making sense. Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. Someone said it's making sense. I'm happy to hear that. Okay. All right. Since it's working well, I just hope this network is excellent. Oh, okay, great. Sorry, it's lagging on my end. That's why I was wondering if it was my network that was the problem, so that I'll know how to switch if it will be better, because I don't want anything to disrupt our class like the former one. So now, when you have this prompt, you can use it anywhere. You can use it on Gemini, you can use it on Adobe Firefly, as the case may be. So let's use it here. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this particular prompt. Okay, so I'll press Command C, all right, and copy this prompt. So now I'm going to explain what I want to do, because everything is about your creativity. It's not about, like, you're not telling AI to do things from his own mind. You are telling AI what you want. Okay, so I can describe what I want to do. I want to edit a photograph, and it's a maternity shoot. So the prompt I've added to this particular prompt is to generate the flower around my subject. Then I want a cloud effect behind my subject, and I want the floor to look like water with some little ripples. And I want you to create a space at the middle where my subject is going to stay. I want the background only because I'm going to use it in Photoshop to place my subject. So give me a background that best fits this my description. It's that easy. Like, you can actually talk to AI and AI would create it. So let's see what it comes up with. Let's see what it comes up with. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay. So just wait for a moment. So we're not going to generate all the backgrounds today, but this is just to give you an idea how it is. Okay, because of time, I want to make sure we're able to cover a lot. So I already have some backgrounds I've generated which we can use, but it's still pretty much the same process. Okay, finishing up, and one last tweak. Just okay. So it's gonna show up any moment from now. So the same thing with Firefly, and Firefly has even a better advantage. Unlike ChatGPT and Gemini, which they only use their own their own AI tool, but Firefly has different partners that you can use their different AI tools. You can use ChatGPT here, you can use Gemini here, you can use Firefly here. But for you to use the Adobe Firefly, you need an active subscription with credits. You need the generative fee credit in Photoshop. Okay, so let's go. I don't know what's delaying this. Let me refresh the page and see. Okay, it's gonna show up now. Whoa, I don't know why it's making it black. Okay, so now see what it did. It only gave me like a PNG format without the background. So if I want background, like this background now, I can easily just download it and I put it on my subject. It doesn't have background. This is a PNG format. Okay, so if I download it, let me show you what I mean. That's why it has this box, but I'm going to generate the one that has like a full color background and explain to ChatGPT. Just hold on, let me quickly show you how this works. So let me switch to Photoshop and show you. Let's go to Photoshop. Let's go to Photoshop. Yep. All right, so now we're in Photoshop and I'm going to bring that particular background we just downloaded. Where is it? Can't find it. I'm coming. Let me download it again and check now. Okay, why am I not seeing it? Okay, I've seen it. All right, I've seen it. So now if I drag and drop, look at it. What I just generated is the PNG format that does not have, you can see, you can even download overlays that does not have what's it called, that does not have background. So if you want the type that you don't want background, ChatGPT can generate that for you. The same thing with Gemini. Any of these softwares, they have the ability to generate like overlays that do not come with background, but that's not what we're going to use. We're going to correct ChatGPT and tell it what we want, but just to show you the kind of format that was, that was generated. Now AI can get it wrong. All you just need to do is keep explaining the way you want it to be, or typing it out, and trust me, you're going to get the result. But now what I don't recommend is recreating somebody else's background, from scratch, from the beginning to the end, like doing the same thing. It's not giving creativity, and it's going to flag plagiarism. So tomorrow when you post the picture and the original creator of that background sees it, you might be embarrassed when he drops a comment that, oh wow, you stole my background, that kind of thing. You don't want that kind of situation. Okay, so let's just go on. I'll go back to ChatGPT and explain that I want a background. All right, so I'll just go back to ChatGPT. I want a full color background. My subject is wearing a white dress and she's going to be standing at the middle. So I want a sky blue and white kind of background, the floor reflecting some part of what is going on, so that by the time I place my subject on this background, it will seamlessly flow and blend into it. So you can explain all these things over and over again in a way that ChatGPT is going to understand. And the thing is that the more you correct it, the better the AI begins to learn how you like your images. So that tomorrow, when you want to generate backgrounds, it becomes very easy. All right. So people are still complaining that the audio is low. I don't know why that is happening. So I'm very sorry. I don't know why that is happening. I'm talking as loud and yeah, my yeah, I think I don't know if it's better now or it's still the same thing. Okay, so we have our background. So you can see the way the background looks. All right. So anyhow, so if I don't want it in this color, I say, can I get a pink variant of this? I don't want the blue. It's giving a male baby, a male child. So can I get a pink variant? And can you defocus the sky at the background as if I shot it with an 85 mm 2.5 f aperture? Some people are saying the audio is better. Some people are saying the audio is bad. I'm totally confused at this point. So please, guys, for those people that the audio is bad, I'm sorry. If you can turn up your volume a little bit, so maybe it will help, because my volumes are the max and I am actually talking as loud as I can. Okay, so let's go on. So just a moment, it's going to generate very soon, and then we can just pop it in and go and do the other part of the job. The other part of the job. Okay, so this is the pink variant. You can see, look at the blue variant, look at the pink variant, and then I said it should blur out the background. You can see how it blurred out the background. So I can just download this and then I'll go and use it in Photoshop. So now let's go to Photoshop and see how you can manually change this background by yourself. Okay, how you can manually change it in Photoshop. So let's go to Photoshop. So when you go to Photoshop, so the first thing you want to do is to separate your subject from the background. So to do that, you first of all click on select subject, and it will select your subject. Once you have your subject, all right, you need to once you have your subject, then you need to invert your selection by pressing Command Shift I, and then press Command J to actually cut out your background. Then create a new stamp visible layer by pressing Command Shift Alt E, which will create a stamp visible layer here, and click on select subject again. When you click on select subject the second time, then apply it as a layer mask. Apply it as a layer mask. So this one becomes subject, and then this one becomes background. This one becomes background. So now, no audio. Oh my god. No audio. No audio. Hello guys, can you guys hear me? Oh my god, no audio. Somebody's saying no sound, the audio is good, the voice is okay. So I'm confused, I don't even know which one to follow. The audio is working fine, good now. Okay, good. So let's go back. So I'm going to delete this. All right, let's do it again. So we're going to click on select subject, so which will select the subject, which is the person in the photograph. Okay, so once we select subject, you press command shift I, all right, which is control shift I on Windows. Press command J, which is control J on Windows. That will cut out the background. You can see this is just the background without the person. All right, just name this background. All right, now we're going to create a stamp visible layer by pressing command shift alt E. When you press command shift alt E, it's going to create a stamp visible layer, and that stamp visible layer is like a full layer of everything. All right, what you need to do next is just click on select subject. When you click select subject, what happens is that it is going to select your subject just like the way it did the first time. Now, but this time you're just going to apply it as a layer mask. So what we have successfully done is that we have separated our subject from the background. All right, so now in between the subject and the background, that is where we are going to drag and drop our AI generated background. So when you drag your AI generated background in between your subject and the background. So now what I want you to note is that whenever you are doing this AI generated background, try to understand perspective and proportion. Perspective and proportion is very important. What is perspective and proportion? So for perspective, you see the way the floor is. Like if you are to draw a line, if you are to draw a line, let's say you draw a line from this top. This is where the background and the foreground meets. They meet at this point. So if they meet at this point, any background you are putting, you're supposed to be watching out for that level, which is called the horizon level. You don't want the horizon level to be around a point that makes the person look awkward, as if the person is not resting on the background. So it's very good you understand perspective. Then proportion is based on size. So for example, if you bring this now like this and you leave it like this, or no, let's make it smaller. You bring it like this. Based on proportion, you are looking at, if this stuff is looking this small, it means that you are using a wide lens that is making the background look very far from the subject. So most times your eyes will calculate the size of the subject in respect to the size of the elements in the background. So it's very good you understand perspective and proportion. Okay, so you have to bring this one out a little bit, maybe around about this point, maybe, and something like this. So if you have something like this, all right, if you have something like this, then you are good to go. Something like this is not bad, you are good to go. So but now you can see that the person is not actually looking real on the background. So we need to blend the subject to the background. And also note that there's one extra at this point. This image I downloaded is a low quality image, just because I want to just explore. I don't want to come with my own images and make it look like, oh, the images are already looking very fine. I just went to pixels.com to download. So I don't want this part to show, so I'm going to select it, right click and fill it with black. Because I'm on the layer mask, when I fill it with black, it's going to disappear. So something like this. So now that we have this, all you need to do is to click on this tool here, this move tool. Then we are on the layer mask. You don't need to be on the layer mask. Go to the image layer and you click on harmonize. when you click on harmonize, what happens is that the generative fill AI is going to look at your subject, look at your background, and try to blend them together to make it look as if they were shot the same, like they were shot together. That is what harmonize does. So with harmonize, you are actually blending the subject with the background. So, and it's going to give you three variations. So somebody said if you cannot hear, you have to click the link again. Maybe I should just open the group so that if we need to drop any comment for some people who are struggling. I'm so sorry with the. So I'm opening the group now, so that in case you guys have comments to assist some people that are struggling can just easily get help. Okay. All right. So now look at the harmonize. I'm going to check the different options that comes. So these are the different options. So we're going to check which of them is. If you don't like any of the option, you can generate again. And if you generate again, it will create another one. But one of the things you notice, can you see that it creates the shadow for you? You don't have to now import any shadow. You don't have to import any shadow. All right, you don't have to import any shadow. You don't have to import any shadow. Okay, so let's just wait for it to load. I don't know why it's taking so much time. Okay, so these are more options. Okay, so let's just pick. I think the one I like is this one. I like this one. So now with this one, but now you can see that the thing is changing the entire lighting on the subject. If I don't want that, what I'll do is that I'll click on the layer mask here, then come to this top layer, all right, and press Command G, which will group it, and apply layer mask. When I apply that layer mask, I'll press Command I, which will invert it. Then I will take my brush and come and brush on the edges of the place close to the shadow. Then I can reduce the opacity of this down. So we have moved from this to this. So this is one way you can change your background. Now let me state this so that you guys will understand something. Now it is always advisable that whenever you want to change your background, you try to make sure you are using background that the colors are closer to what already exists within your image. So because I'm using a pink background, that is why it's so obvious, because this blue and this the white balance of this person's image is already giving off that it's not looking as if it is blending. If I imported the blue background, you will see that it will look way better. The blue background will look way better compared to the pink background. So most times people do not know how to choose background or how to shoot and prepare for that particular editing you are going to do. So if you want that editing very well, all you need to do is to make sure that you actually prepare for it by shooting, lighting, using the white balance that already prepares you ahead for the kind of background you are going to use. So if you're going to use Photoshop, this is one way. Another way you could do it is that you could go let me click on save, downloads. Okay, let me save this file. Let me save this file and show you another way. Another way you could also change the background is that You can go back to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to actually you can go back to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to actually place the subject on the background for you. So what I'm just going to do is come to this place, then come to downloads, and I'm going to this and this. So I can come here and say the first image is my image, remove the background and replace it with the next image, which is the flower with the blue, and place my subject realistically on that background. Simple. So we're going to wait. I'm sorry, people are complaining about network. I'm so sorry about the network. I'm so sorry about the network. I don't know. I'm so sorry about the network. I don't know why it's delaying. The network is something else. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so it's creating the image now. Okay, so this is another way, but this has a good and a bad, bad part. The good part is, yes, ChatGPT can place the subject for you, but ChatGPT is going to change your subject. Your subject will not look exactly the way the person was before, and it's going to give you a low resolution. Somebody's commenting that ChatGPT is paid. ChatGPT has a plan of 7,100 per month and doesn't have the limit of how many devices you can use. You can use it on multiple devices. So that is a cheap plan for you to have to pay 7,100 for ChatGPT. And with the free ChatGPT, you have up to 3 uploads. But once you exceed the 3 uploads, they will limit you. But ChatGPT, you can pay 3,100. Whoa, I don't know what's wrong with ChatGPT today. So, but see, now, let's see. Let me correct what I wrote here. I said the first image, my image, remove the background and replace it with the next image as its background. So I've corrected what I said. Let me see if ChatGPT would do a better work. But now what it created the first time was the PNG format, where by the time you place it, you can actually see through. But I don't want that. I want a full. So that's the one of the disadvantage of trying to use ChatGPT to do the composite, when you can easily just manually do it in Photoshop by yourself. Okay, so but this is taking our time. Let's see if we can hurry up. Let's see if we can hurry up. Let's so that we can go to some other images I want to show you guys quickly. Let's see. Okay, can you guys hear me? Oh, I don't know what is wrong with chat. So you can see that's one of the struggle with using AI to do everything. All right, so maybe I should just let me edit. Let me do something. Let me put new task at the beginning. New task. So let's see what comes up. But while we are waiting for that, let's go back to Photoshop and do something else, okay? Because of time. So now, what if you wanted to change the background of this image? And I already have a background I want to use. All right, and maybe you don't have internet to be able to use the generative fill, but you want the realistic shadow. So you can click on select subjects. All right, when you do select subjects, it will select the subject. All right, select the subject, then press command shift I to invert, press command J, then press command shift alt E to create a new layer, stamp visible layer, then click on select subject again, then apply it as a layer mask. So let's say you have a background you wanted to use. Let me bring a background. So let's say you wanted to use this background. You wanted to use this background for your subject. All right, this background is AI generated, by the way. I just described it to ChatGPT. I wanted three lights. I wanted the floor to look gray. I wanted fog. So I just described it and it generated it. So now, once you place the subject, you can see that the shadow is not coming out the way you're supposed to have it. So, like I already recommended, you can use harmonize. If you use harmonize, harmonize is going to give you a clean work. Or you can bring back the original shadow from the original subject. So I can come and duplicate this background, take it up. You see this shadow, then I'll change it from normal to multiply. When I change it to multiply, you can see that it darkens everything, but the shadow is there. So all I just need to do next is press command L, which is levels, and I will just keep on adding more white to the white until my shadow shows up. Once my shadow shows up to the extent that I want, I press OK. So this is the before and the after. You can see how we have successfully changed the background of this subject from this to this. All right, so and this can work with any background you want to put if you want to retain the original shadow. So but this only works when you shot them with a when you shot the image with a studio background, because from a studio background you can easily get the shadow. But if you shot outdoor, because of the kind of fabric, the kind of texture that can be present in your